So before we get into today's recap, let's take a look at the last recap of The Crafting Dead Season 10. 7 months after the war with Region ended, Reese woke up from a coma with amnesia. While he was recovering his memory, Cody brought in an injured scientist named Dr. Travis. Once Reese regained his memory and retook leadership, he didn't trust the man, but let him stay anyway. Travis, revealed to be the man who created the Walker virus, then burned Danny's research and poisoned sick townspeople, leading to a Walker horde swarming the town. In the aftermath, Reese and Luke decided to go hunt down Dr. Travis with the help of Jimmy. Reese then left Cody in charge, who will do whatever he thinks is necessary to keep the town safe. Season 10, Episode 1, Starvation. The season begins just 1 month after Reese, Luke, and Jimmy left to hunt Dr. Travis. Dominic, now in Boston, rests on a bridge before he continues on the road. In the town, Danny creates a log marking the progress of his research and the happenings in the town. It's been a little over 5 years since the outbreak. Danny details how he lost all his research in the fire and how not much has changed around the town since Reese left. Cam and Sam stand a post on the wall. The two have a brotherly conversation, remembering their own injuries, Cam's infection, and Sam's blind eye. Cam playfully jokes about Sam's eye. In Town Hall, Cody and Benny argue over supplies. Now, Benny arguing for a supply run and Cody not wanting to send anyone out at risk of meeting Dr. Travis. They argue over what Reese would do, and Cody says with a storm coming in a few days, Reese would try and hold out for the rest of the week. Their argument ends in a shouting match with Benny saying Reese never should have put Cody in charge. Back in Boston, Dominic shoots a walker only to then feel like he's being followed. Throwing it up as him being paranoid, Dominic continues on. The episode ends as it is revealed that someone is in fact following Dominic. Season 10, Episode 2, Chaos. A week later in Town Hall, Benny and Cody continue to argue as people begin to starve. Cody won't risk the lives of the original group on a supply run, but he eventually agrees that when the weather breaks that they should send for a supply run. He then tells Benny to get Sam to bring the last of the food to the kitchen for rationing. Then he tells Benny to fix a hole in the hospital's roof that was created in the most recent storm. Afterwards, Benny quickly finds Sam, who is running late to his post, and asks him to bring the food to the kitchen. Benny then goes to the hospital. While Benny fixes the hole on the roof, a walker attacks him. It knocks Benny off the roof and then quickly falls behind him. Just as the walker is about to reach Benny, Cody shoots it. Danny assists a very injured Benny to the hospital, while Sam goes to confront Cam, who should have been on watch. Sam beats the crap out of Cam and yells at him that he almost got Benny killed. Back at the hospital, Danny tells Benny both his legs are broken, and it will be a multi-month recovery. Cam arrives asking why Sam beat the crap out of him. Cody, frustrated, explains a walker got in. Cam says that Sam was the one who didn't show up for guard duty all day, and that no walkers got in on his watch. Afterwards, Cody and Danny discuss the incident, and Danny believes it's a possible tactic from Dr. Travis. Cody says Dr. Travis would never dare come back, however he then wonders what if Dr. Travis never left. The episode ends as Dr. Travis observes the town from a distance. Season 10, Episode 3, Graves. The episode begins in a flashback before the outbreak. A young Dominic works at his father's restaurant in Boston. In the present, Dom looks at the now abandoned restaurant. He's unknowingly still being followed. We flash back to Dom entering his childhood home in the present. He enters the now abandoned home. Back in the past, Dominic runs upstairs to find his father with his now dead mother. He runs downstairs and calls 911, but no one answers. He then calls his grandpa. His grandpa tells him about people rising from the dead, but Dominic doesn't believe him. He promises they'll meet up at his place up north, and then hangs up. Suddenly, his father screams from upstairs. Dominic runs upstairs to see his mother now biting his dad's neck. His dad then grabs a knife to protect himself, screaming she's not human. Dom, attempting to protect her, wrestles with his father, accidentally stabbing him. His father dies, and Dominic is forced to kill his mother as well. In the present, Dominic sits in his parents' bedroom, their skeletons still on the floor. Suddenly, someone breaks a window downstairs. Dominic runs downstairs only to get pushed down the stairs to his old room. The two fight, and the episode ends as the man shoots Dominic. Season 10, Episode 4. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. The episode begins in Town Hall as Danny argues with Cody about getting more medical supplies. The two argue until Danny says that he and Sam are going on a supply run, whether Cody likes it or not. This convinces Cody, and he tells Danny to stay here while he goes on the supply run. Back in Boston, Dominic wakes up in a different house. The man creepily introduces himself as Mark in a very casual and polite manner. As their conversation continues, Mark reveals that he's the leader of a cannibal group preparing to eat Dominic. Mark is insane. On the supply run, Cody gets in a firefight with a cannibal. Cody kills the man, but not before their gunshots attract a horde of walkers. Back in Boston, Mark pushes Dominic into a half-frozen pool. Mark and his men find this amusing. Just as Dom passes out, Mark pulls him from the water. Not fully amused, Mark orders his men to take Dominic away. Meanwhile, a horde of walkers swarms the house and Cody begins the fight of his life. That night, Dr. Travis confronts Mark. Travis tells Mark about the group and the town. He tells Mark that Dom is one of them. He says he'll get information out of Dom for him in exchange for Mark handing over Dom to Travis for good. The episode ends as Mark agrees and the two begin to work together. Season 10, Episode 5, Escape. The episode begins as dead walkers line the floors of the house Cody was looting. Cody, tired and covered in blood, lies among them victorious. Back in Boston, Mark brings Travis to Dominic. Travis tells Dom that he's going to get information out of him and that after he wants Dom for his research. Travis then injects Dom with a serum. Cody, possibly having broken his legs, struggles to move. In the pain, Cody begins to hallucinate Vance. Vance is able to give Cody the courage he needs to push through the pain and get up. After Dr. Travis's interrogation, the cannibals get ready to move Dominic, who is now patched up. However, before they can, Dominic is able to kill a cannibal, retrieve his crossbow, and escape. When Mark comes back, he finds Dominic missing. Later, Dominic finds an abandoned mall. It's so large, he thinks Mark won't find him there. Just as he lets his guard down, a stranger knocks him out. Fun fact, the mall that Dom enters here is the same mall that Luke was in charge of and held Reese in way back in Season 2. At the town, Cam and Sam keep watch when an injured Cody, who they mistake as a walker, approaches the gate. Just as Cam is about to shoot, Sam realizes it's Cody and yells. The episode ends as Cam shoots Cody. Season 10, Episode 6, Embrace the Devil. The episode begins right as Cam shoots Cody. Cam runs to go get Danny as Cody lies on the ground dying. Cam tells Benny he shot Cody as Sam and Danny go to bring Cody to the hospital. At the hospital, Danny performs emergency surgery on Cody. As he does, Cody sees Harold's grave and then Vance's. He hallucinates Reese as Danny removes the bullet, saving Cody's life. Outside, Sam and Cam argue. Sam still sees Cam as a kid and doesn't think he's capable, leaving Cam insulted. The two argue, Sam even dragging the memory of their dead brother Henry into their fight, but the two eventually come to an understanding. Afterwards, Benny and Sam talk about how hopefully Cam gets his act together and how close of a call Cody had. They're impressed by him surviving both a herd and a bullet. The two agree they need to be more careful. The episode ends as Mark arrives asking for help at the front gate. Season 10, Episode 7, Honor Thy Father. The episode begins as the snow finally melted in Boston, and Dom is tied up in the mall. The stranger aims a shotgun at him as he wakes up. The stranger interrogates him, worried that Dom is one of Mark's cannibals, but Dominic is able to convince him he's not. As Benny holds Mark at gunpoint, he asks Mark how he's alive, and it's clear the two know each other. Benny is hostile towards Mark and explains Mark was Richard's friend before the outbreak. Benny tells Mark Richard is dead. The two argue and it's revealed that Benny left Mark for dead after Mark threw their friend Caleb into a pit of walkers. Benny believes Mark is insane, but with the storm coming, is forced to bring him inside. Back in Boston, the stranger introduces himself as David, and him and Dom get to know each other. As David explains what happened to him on Outbreak Day, he reveals that his sons' names were Reese, George, and Martin. Dominic tells David that he knew his sons, and he tells him about the town and Dr. Travis. However, he doesn't tell David George and Martin are dead. The episode ends as David breaks down in tears, thinking his boys are alive. Season 10, Episode 8, Demons of the Past. The episode begins as a rainstorm washes away the last of the winter snow. In Town Hall, Benny watches Mark, who happily thanks Benny and helps himself to an apple. The two catch up as it's revealed Mark was kicked out of the town when he suggested killing people to preserve supplies and then killed someone over an apple. When Benny and their friend Caleb were escorting Mark out of the town, that's when Mark did what he did and Benny left him for dead. Mark challenges Benny's humanity, egging him on to kill him. In the hospital, Cody wakes up from his bullet wound. Danny catches Cody up and the two agree that Cam is too reckless. Danny tells Cody to rest. Meanwhile, Sam finds Cam crying over how much he's messed up lately. Cam breaks down over his recklessness and contemplates no longer taking the temporary cure. The two have a heart-to-heart, and Sam forgives Cam for his shortcomings. 2 days later, after the storm, birds chirp as spring has finally begun after an aggressive and long winter. At Town Hall, Cody is on his feet and meets Mark. Mark has manipulated Benny into taking him back in, but Cody is hesitant to trust him. Cody and Benny argue over who's in charge, and Cody elects that Mark can stay. But if he does anything, it's on Benny. Cody then tells Benny that he and Sam are going on a supply run to get more medicine. The episode ends as Mark radios Dr. Travis and is given the clear to take out the town. Season 10, Episode 9, A New Kid. Fun fact about this episode, the title of this episode, A New Kid, is a reference to the Crafting Dead Season 1, Episode 3 titled, A Kid, where Reese first finds and takes in Cody. The episode begins as Cody and Sam enter a hospital in Portland. The two quietly search the halls of the hospital, guns at the ready. The two head up the stairs as they continue to search the hospital. Suddenly, Cody can't find Sam. He looks for him and eventually comes across a room where a man with his kid is holding Sam at gunpoint. Cody explains that they're not there to hurt him and puts his gun down. The man then lets Sam go. A woman lies dead in the bed next to him. The man tells Cody to go. Cody offers to help the man and his family. The man declines, but Cody appeals to the man through his son, and he introduces himself as Jeff and his son Roy. Jeff agrees to go back with Cody to the town, but warns Cody of a cannibal named Mark. Cody and Sam panic and know they have to get back to the town immediately. Back at the town, Cam gets to know Mark through Benny. As they talk, Cam grows more and more suspicious of Mark. Benny claims Mark believes heavily in survival of the fittest, even suggesting cannibalism at times. He says Chris kicked him out and wishes that the group knew Chris when he was a better man. Suddenly, explosions rain throughout the town. They eventually stop, and Benny looks out onto the town. Its buildings now collapsing and on fire. The episode ends as Cody, Sam, Jeff, and Roy reach the town. The walkers at the front gate put down, and their home engulfed in flames. Season 10, Episode 10, The Final Breath. The epic season finale and 100th episode of The Crafting Dead begins as Cody sprints throughout the streets of the town into Town Hall. He asks Benny and Cam what's happening as Sam and the others arrive. Cody quickly introduces them and then tells Benny that Mark is a cannibal. Cody says that they have to defend the town down to their final breaths and that they can't lose this place after Reese left to kill Travis and protect it. Benny is hesitant, but the others agree and Cody makes a plan. Later, Cody arrives at the hospital, its roof collapsing. Cody enters Danny's lab to find him packing up his research. Danny says they have to run and that they can find a new home. Cody disagrees, and Danny gives Cody a bag filled with temporary cure. Cody tells Danny to meet them at the gate. He leaves as Danny keeps packing up. Meanwhile, Mark arrives at Town Hall and knocks out Benny. Mark and Jeff fight as Jeff protects Roy. Suddenly, 3 gunshots rain out as Sam and Cam approach Town Hall. Mark holds a gun to Jeff's chest. 3 exit wounds into Jeff's back pouring out blood. Jeff collapses to the ground and speaks some final reassuring words to his son as he dies. Rest in peace, Jeff. Sam and Cam sprint up the steps of Town Hall to find Benny beating Mark to a bloody pulp. Cam gets Roy out of there as Sam pulls Benny off of Mark. Suddenly, an explosion collides with the front of Town Hall, supposedly killing everyone inside. We see the path of the explosive, an RPG launched by Dr. Travis. Cody screams in agony as the roof finally collapses in the hospital, trapping Danny inside. Cody pushes Travis off the truck and the two fight, trading blows as Travis taunts Cody. Cody pulls a gun on Travis only to get disarmed. Travis pistol whips Cody to the ground and aims his gun at him. Travis delivers a deranged speech about destroying the town, all of Reese's friends, and then Cody, hunting Reese down for being the only one to get in his way. He says he's going to kill Reese and the entire world for his work, his research, his art. He asks Cody for some last words, but before he can speak, interrupts him. The season ends as a gunshot rings throughout the town. So, what did you guys think of Season 10 of The Crafting Dead? Were you surprised or excited by any moments? Does this season and its cliffhanger make you excited for Reese's return in Season 11? Tell me in the comments below. Now you can go watch the entire 10th season or even skip ahead to Season 11 by clicking either of the links in the description below. Or you can just wait for my next recap coming at an unknown time to find out what happens next. So yeah, anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you'll never miss an upload. And yeah, I will see you guys again soon. Thanks so much for watching, and of course, a game on. Bye!